evil dies tonight?
I guess.
Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching Halloween Ends. And this is So I'm Watching... I was like, I'm supposed to be saying more than that. And this is So I'm Watching This Show, your new favorite pop culture YouTube channel where we talk about movies, TV, music, and more. And as always, this is the spoiler show, so you have been warned. On today's episode, we're going to have a conversation about the movie that we watched, which is entitled Halloween Ends.
Thanks, Bert Hapley.
Come and get me.
So I actually was going to start with this. I saved it, but Catherine, that costume designer that I worked with a few times, she's like a good friend of mine. She's back in North Carolina working, and she worked on a movie, I think I told you, with Judy Greer and Alexander Skarsgård and Michael Shannon.
Mm-hmm.
And they like posted a picture on the last day where they were in like a Last Supper configuration.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was really funny that Catherine was in the center.
Mm-hmm.
And so I responded. And I was like, oh my God, I love that you're Jesus in this. And as much as I do love you, I worship at the altar of Judy Greer. Praise be her name. And so Catherine yesterday sent me that she texted Judy that. And she said, she was like, and most of my friends didn't really care about Alex or Mike, just you.
Amazing.
And Judy said, oh my gosh, thank you, Will. You are so Jesus.
That's amazing.
So I got a text message from Judy Greer.
Incredible. I love it. Love that for us.
And Paris Hilton said you were awesome. There's proof of that on the repo commentary. Only they said a girl from Texas instead of Florida, but it was you.
It was definitely me. Also, go become a patron and you can watch us tell that story.
Yeah.
We have a Q&A up on the Patreon.
We started doing some more personal stuff. We do early access on the Patreon. There's a couple exclusives. There might be some more to come.
Yeah.
But we typically do early access and more sort of personal stuff. And I'm trying to do like a video a month, a video every like 6 weeks. Where next one's going to be our top 10 movies, and we're going to do our top 10 TV shows. So, anyways, I genuinely do not know where to start with this because I think a lot of people are going to hate this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I get the sense that you and Will didn't really care for it. I didn't hate it, but it's baffling.
I didn't hate it, but it was bad.
It's baffling. I don't understand.
No.
What about this movie has any connection to the previous movie, let alone Halloween? Like, it really feels like, to me, it's like one of those scripts that they retroactively shoehorn into, like the Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah.
Cloverfield works as an ambiguous, broad monster thing.
Yeah.
This is a person-shaped monster with a name, and I don't know. And I know that there's lots of talk about evil in this franchise, but it rubs me the wrong way more and more each time. It's like a scapegoat.
Okay, yes, 100%. And also, because Michael Myers is a serial killer, generally serial killers are not actually like I feel like evil should be reserved for like mythical, like the cosmic good and evil. More often than not, serial killers are just like, I got bored and I hate women
or mentally sick.
Yeah,
like their brains aren't right.
Right.
And so it just evil is something that's very touchy for me because obviously, I think it does exist. But I don't think it's as cut and dry as we're led to believe. And this movie really chalks a lot up to them's the breaks. And I just don't fully get it. And I think the other issue that I'm having and where I was really at war with myself is I actually was liking large chunks of the movie. The first hour of this movie, as we said, spoiler show, is this like deranged Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
And I didn't hate it.
Okay.
It's toxic as fuck, but I didn't hate it because it was it was tropey. It was working for me.
I also didn't hate it at the start. But it was so half-baked that I ended up hating it because it didn't make any sense. Like, why was Allison so sucked into his bullshit?
They needed to have known each other.
Like, they went to high school together and they lost touch, and then she's like, I wanted to reach out ever since the Jeremy kid died.
Like, that, it was a very provocative opening.
Very.
And I was sort of like, oh, wow. This is the opening kill of Halloween Ends? I was like...
Bold move to make me want that kid dead.
I mean, no, that's sort of...
bold move, movie!
It's so weirdly considering that I came here for the conclusion of Halloween. Yeah. You know, a franchise.
You've opened a whole host of other questions.
It was like, let's watch this entirely new other thing. Mm-hmm. And so when the Halloween part came, I was like, what? Why are you messing with this? It's like they started making one meal and then retro. I don't know. Yeah. It was because like you get the sense that the movie was going for something. And so I liked OG Halloween fine. Mm-hmm. I really liked, what was it, 2019?
18.
Really? Jesus. I really liked 2018 Halloween. I enjoyed 2021 Halloween Kills. It's part of horror that I like. It's the and then there were none. I like meeting a cast of characters and knocking them off one by one. Yeah. And seeing the different weird ways you can kill them. And I think these three movies have been well made in the sense they look good, they feel the atmosphere and all that. And it's sort of, this was giving me Americana. Like, it was giving me sort of a bygone era, because you guys were making lots of comment about like who listens to the radio anymore.
Yeah.
And I sort of was like, I get the sense that Haddonfield sort of exists out. It's like a Riverdale thing where it's like sort of outside time and space.
Sure, but like, didn't Anthony Michael Hall have like a podcast in the last movie?
They are inconsistent.
Yeah.
And that was another thing that was different from certainly the previous one, mixed results first one. Everybody was awful.
Okay, that's
terrible.
That's
movie.
Another super weird, bold move for this, the like 19th entry into the Halloween franchise. Everyone who died deserved it except for Corey's dad. But also Corey or Michael didn't kill him. So it was like an accident.
Yeah, that's really weird.
Everyone else deserved it. And I guess sort of not the girl that was under the
She
truck,
made her bed.
But she didn't leave those other kids.
They were baffling. Terry, Stacy, Billy, and Margot, I guess. I could not make heads or tails.
Also, Margot, your name doesn't even fit the rhyme scheme. What are we doing here? Margie? Was Margie taken?
Jay Silence off Drake Stack.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I made the joke on purpose.
Okay.
I'm mostly with you. I think the script was bad, like really bad. And I think there's so many areas where it was like not quite the right move. And then I also think that they completely lost sight of Allison as a character, who is now a nurse. What? That doesn't check. That's the job all the mean girls at high school get. I don't buy it.
We're not denigrating the good work that.
I mean, like local.
No, I know the small town.
Your local small town nurse. Mm-hmm. Those are all the people who made fun of you for like having bangs in high school.
I don't know. I thought that because they absolutely 100% did completely lose sight of Allison. She was a completely different character in this. But I thought that Andy and Rohan, it was working for me. Mm-hmm. And there was just something,
he is cute.
I found him very appealing. And I like the concept of a good person, of a misunderstood person. You know, we're up to here with man pain. We're up to here with like incel, like all of this stuff. And this flirted with so much of that without...
Okay. But he couldn't even have been an incel because Allison was literally throwing it at him.
Again, I wish they had already. And half of those things I just changed in my mind. I'm like, they just knew each other from before. And that's the problem when you kill all of your characters in the previous episode.
Yeah.
Or, well,
Entry.
I said what I said. Yeah, I like the notion of that trajectory and this kind of like self-fulfilling or just what can happen. Like I said, it's very exposed, like it's a very done story, but that, you know, a good man can be beaten down over and over again to the point where like I thought it was interesting, but there was a mysticism in this that just felt really unearned.
Yeah.
And the way that Laurie was so, because if anything, I felt like Laurie should be the one fighting to save him, not Allison. And the fact that she was just like, he's gone, there's nothing we can do.
Yeah.
It seemed weird. And I know that Laurie has this storied history with the character of Michael Myers, but the thing is, these movies scrapped it. So he's not even her brother in this timeline.
Right.
Which you really struggle with. But so she's talking like they have this history. And I'm like, but you don't.
They have some history because the original, these are a direct continuation of the original, but it's like the intervening 40 years, nothing happened.
It didn't work. It didn't really ring true for me. I'm trying to say something more profound. Because she even talks about like, I've looked into those eyes and they were evil. And I was like, did she? Like in the sense that if somebody's attacking you, you're going to see them.
Oh, well.
But I was like, this was one night this man attacked her.
Well, it's been 4 separate nights now.
Sure. I don't know. Like I said, that kind of stuff works in fantasy. Works in genre. And I know this is genre, but...
No, but that's the thing is it's like not really ever been like... It's never actually crossed that bridge into fantasy. And so with them...
Like we're in Chucky territory where souls were transporting bodies.
So that's exactly it. Where it's like all of a sudden he was like... Because he was like too weak at the beginning. And then I guess Corey started murdering people and he got stronger because then he got out of that like aqueduct.
Which also Corey's his second and third murder. First one was an accident and that kid was terrible. No, the homeless man and then the dick cop Doug, that was prompted.
Yeah.
Both of those people were aggressively approaching on him.
Yeah.
The nurse and the doctor.
Well, he lured Doug.
Yeah, but
he lured Doug.
I still maintain Doug had directly aggressed at him
and Allison. Yes.
Now the doctor
but
and
he
the
like
nurse,
lured him to the killing floor.
The doctor and the nurse were like jerks, but that was like a level of carnage that their characters hadn't earned, nor Corey's derangement. It was so
sure. Also, like when in time did Allison have time to tell him that she got passed over for promotion? Also, it didn't appear that Allison knew they were having an affair. And so it's like, how did any of this come to light in order for him to be like, those are my next two?
Like her crime was she was obnoxious, you know?
Well,
and I mean, what?
She stole that job from Allison because she fucked the doctor.
Well, she was continuing. And
Allison was like messing up because she knocked over the sterile. And the doctor absolutely had it coming because not only was he a dick, but he was also then fucking around with a young nurse. But still, the logic of it doesn't carry through because how would Corey know that? And like how did he rope Michael into like coming out there and going on his kills with him?
Well, and that's the thing, because if it were Michael, because Michael kills indiscriminately. And it was like a lot of, in 2018 Halloween, there was the babysitter who was really fun, and there was a little gay boy who just wanted to dance. And there was like a lot of, even the podcasters, like they were annoying, but they weren't, I don't know. So it's like Michael, I don't know.
I thought it was because you're totally right about the indiscriminate killing, which is why I found it so odd that all of a sudden in this, what Blumhouse and what's his name, David Gordon Green have said is the finale of this story, to all of a sudden make all of the deaths appropriate. Like within a horror, like they all had crimes that warranted their deaths.
There's also a baffling character in the form of Lindsay, in the form of Kyle Richards.
The shit?
Which I wanted.
No, of course,
I wanted her to be in this movie.
There at the end.
I didn't want Lindsay Wallace to die because I didn't like the optics of that
Sure.
this child survives this terrible ordeal
for 53 years
just to be killed by him again.
Yeah.
However, if they were going to do that, then they should have done it in her chase scene in Halloween Kills.
Absolutely.
Which they didn't.
Yeah.
And so they bring her back and she's game and Kyle is fine. I've started watching the Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
So this was extra fun for me. But she's like dispersed throughout the first 2 acts of this movie.
Yeah.
And then and again, unlikely voice of reason, where she's like this sort of, and I appreciated the commentary that it's like, because you get the sense that this town is a shithole that sucks people in, and you get the sense that she's better than it, but
she's also working at a dive bar.
She's working at a dive. It just she just had this don't let what happened to me happen to you, kid vibe.
Sure.
And I sort of kept waiting for that because you get the sense that she's present in Allison's life, at least in this one, because she's reading her tarot cards and stuff. And they bring, she's in the movie enough that when she's suddenly gone from it, it's like, well, what was even the point? It feels even more deliberate to have her so present and then just not have any actual.
Like, I fully believe that if she just like popped up out of the woodwork for that scene at the end, we would have been like, where the fuck did she come from? But it would have at least felt correct.
I thought for sure she was gonna land a punch.
Sure.
Like I really did, especially because I wouldn't have thought that Judy, I mean, it makes sense. It goes back with the intro, but I was like, I wouldn't have thought Judy Greer was the linchpin in this. But she really was, because she was in the first movie, too.
I would have thought.
Yeah. Sometimes I perform conversation. Well, also, we do this in real time. Like, we're working through our thoughts right in the moment. But
I just... it just really, for me, it really, like, sort of stumbled into the finish. Also, what the fuck was with Corey's mom? Ah!
And the disc jockey, that...
Well, that's whatever. That was, like, gruesome and kind of hilarious, but, like, the mom kissed him on the mouth.
It was overbearing.
And she kept on going, I can smell her on you. And, why are you sniffing your son for evidence of a lady? Don't you want him to get out there and have sex with a lady? He is the town pariah. Don't you want him to be, like, socializing with people? And, like, how is Laurie Strode's granddaughter worse off in this town than this kid is? How is Laurie getting, like, hated by the entire town? It's her fault? What the fuck?
Well, also that woman...
she was in the second one, right?
Yeah. Apparently survived, but doesn't... So they brought her...
She can't talk.
Yeah, so they brought her back and then had to give her a sister to do the accosting. It was very strange.
Super weird.
I liked half of it, and I didn't... I don't know. I would watch the first 2 again.
Yeah. I definitely, the first one for me was great.
What is it, 75 is the original?
It's 78, I think, but yeah.
I would watch the original, and I would watch the first 2 again. Yeah. This one, I don't know. I wish it was a story of American Horror Stories or something.
Sure.
Like, I wish it was, or that, like, Channel Zero or something. Like, I would have, for whatever reason, their Beauty and the Beast thing was working for me. And I guess it was the romanticism of it all.
Yeah, but again, it's like, to bring my joke full circle, this movie doesn't fit the rhyme scheme of the franchise.
No.
And so I'm very baffled as to how this was the third entry.
And also
of this.
And I'm going to choose to end in a bit, but I'm also a little bit befuddled and chapped, to be honest, that this started off as this sort of like female like, empowerment thing. And then this final chapter is about like man pain, like a boy who's misunderstood.
Yeah.
And these 2 ladies, it's their responsibility to save, or I don't know.
Also, like 4 times.
This is not final girl status for Allison. I don't.
No, and like 4 times Corey said, if I can't have her, no one will. And I'm just like, what? Why? What a thing to say and do. I didn't. Not for me. And I guarantee you, my husband hated it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm still thinking. I'm very baffled. Let's go with baffled is the word.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna open big, so they're gonna try and find a way to do it again. I don't know.
I'm sure they will keep making Halloween movies.
I wish that it wasn't being touted as the final showdown between Laurie and Michael, and that it was just
We've also done that before.
So many times, but that it was just like a Haddonfield tale or something.
Ooh,
like I kind of wish it was. It's sort of like the way that Mad Max Fury Road. It's like Mad Max is in it, but it's like
it's different. It's separate.
It takes place within that world,
yeah.
And so I think that's where I think the mythos is what I was vibing with. Is I was sort of like I kind of dig. And we're right off the back of that Pretty Little Liars Original Sin, which was similarly almost good, but then confusing. And so it's like,
again, it's like all the people who died kind of deserved it.
But it's just like, I think I just sort of enjoy these heightened genre realities that are filmed well.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So, a very hard medium for me. And I think you're going to go with...
It's a no for me.
No.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, it's a no.
And even, I liked Halloween Kills, because even Michael and, or what were the two gay guys? Big Mike and Little Mike? Or Big Terry?
Terry, yeah, something like that.
John. Big John and Little John.
Yeah, okay.
Like, they were characters, and I don't know, I liked the Motley Crew more than this sort of, like...
Sure, I get it.
Okay, well, it ended.
You can follow us on Twitter if you like, or at So I'm Watching, or Instagram at So I'm Watching this show. We also have a website, soimwatching.com, which links out to everything. Yeah, just rate, review, like, and subscribe. Let us know what you think. Leave a comment if you feel like it.
Okay, bye.
Bye.